Guys, we're doomed. Just watch this video. Cute, right? I mean, bunnies jumping on a trampoline. I can't believe they caught that on camera. Except they didn't, because the video's fake. That's right, the bunnies were never in fact jumping on the trampoline, no matter how cute it may look, because it was generated completely using AI.
They were fake?
Of course they were fake!
Finding this out has really got me realizing how good AI has gotten in just the past couple of months. I mean, I feel like it used to be really obvious when something was real or generated using AI, because like only the older generations were really falling for it in the past, but AI has gotten pretty good, and it's kind of scary. Now take a look at this picture. Do you notice anything particular, perhaps uncanny? And what about this one? As it turns out, these are not pictures of actual models, but rather completely generated using AI. They're not real people, and these images were actually featured in the most recent issue of Vogue, which is a super popular magazine. The model, which again does not exist in the physical world, was created by company Serafin Valora, which is an AI-driven marketing agency that creates high-end editorial campaigns using artificial intelligence. This development has sparked a wide-ranging discussion within the beauty and fashion industries, not only regarding the role of AI within fashion or in creative work, but also just the broader implications of using synthetic beauty. I surprisingly have mixed feelings about this, so let's get into it. I think right off the bat, there's definitely a couple of problems with using AI generated images, especially in the realm of beauty and fashion marketing ads. For one, it reinforces these unrealistic beauty standards that are already so difficult to achieve. You know, the voluminous hair, the airbrushed skin, the perfect makeup, the perfect body. Women have such a hard time trying to achieve these beauty standards to begin with. Like, there's already so much pressure to achieve the perfect skin, the perfect hair, the perfect makeup. So using artificially generated images of these models is really just exacerbating the issue. And sure, the purpose of a fashion magazine like Vogue is to cover those topics of beauty, fashion, and culture. So it's not absurd or anything to see those highly airbrushed or edited pictures. But the thing is, the images like the Serafin Valora ones are not just edited, but completely synthetic. As in, it's not depicting real living models, but is completely computer generated.
They were fake?
With real models, while they may be showcasing these highly desirable and sometimes even uncommon characteristics, at least they're real living human beings. Showing an artificially created person wearing essentially computer generated clothing just doesn't feel right, especially when there's nothing wrong with having real humans wearing the real clothing. When real models are used, you see the humanistic quirks that make humans human, like the hair and the clothing draping in a natural way even when posed. Fashion is supposed to be a form of self-expression, which is a very humanistic characteristic. So there's something quite unsettling and maybe even dystopian about it to me when you get computer-generated ads attempting to replicate that human aspect. Not to mention the diversity, or rather, lack of. I mean, I totally understand that these are just two images that we are talking about, so we can't necessarily generalize that this happens to all AI-generated images. But it does appear that the images that Serafin Valora are creating are showcasing a specific outlook of beauty, one that is Eurocentric given the blue eyes and blonde hair. I mean, just look at their Instagram. The fake models are all very beautiful, but it's not giving much diversity. Apparently, the AI models have experimented with trying to incorporate more diversity into their AI models, but they don't really post them just because users don't seem to engage with those pictures as much as the ones that they are currently posting. Whatever gets the most likes, I guess, right? It's interesting because I think a lot of people did not expect AI to make that significant of an impact on the creative leaning industries. Like, sure, we don't need that many software devs anymore because AI can write code for us now. But the modeling industry? Just think about all of the roles that are needed to shoot an editorial campaign. The producers, the hair and makeup artists, the photographer, and of course, the models themselves. It's crazy that there could be a world where none of these people are needed with the adoption of AI. I guess the point of AI is to automate things and be more cost efficient for companies, but it's just sad that these creative jobs that again make us so human are getting replaced by machines. Amidst the backlash, the founders of Serafin Valora have released a statement I found in a caption on one of their posts on Facebook. Essentially, their claim is that what they're doing is not as easy as it looks, that they aren't just completely relying on AI to make the product, but rather relying on it as a tool. Also, that they hire photographers and models as part of their workflow, so they aren't necessarily replacing all jobs related to this space. Though it is true that some other roles will get replaced, they claim AI will ultimately create jobs through different roles like engineers, graphic designers, 3D artists, coders, and architects. I think it can be pretty easy to immediately hate on AI-generated art, especially since there's already been so many cases where the produced art is just copying an actual artist's style. And in this case, it does look like they're producing original art using a combination of both AI and creative minds, so in that sense, the company is doing something right. But I think if you're going to utilize AI in this space, you need to be doing more. The images created for this campaign are nice and editorial looking, but let's be honest, they're kind of boring. Like, if you're going to use AI, then we want to see the groundbreaking creativity coming through, images that are difficult to achieve in reality. We don't want to be seeing this realistic stuff that can just be achieved through traditional methods. Heck, even influencers can be replaced by AI now. I feel like I can make a whole video on this topic alone, but it's clear that we are getting fed more and more AI-generated content without us even realizing it. And there could be a point in the future where everything that you see on the internet is created by AI. Like, do you think those influencer ads you see on TikTok are annoying? Imagine all of the content that you consume just being AI. There's actually a theory for this concept called the dead internet theory. The theory originated sometime around 2016, and it's this idea that the entire internet will eventually just be bots talking to each other, and there won't be any humans actually on the internet. Just bots doing everything for you and automatically generated content for you to consume. Kind of dystopian if you ask me. Of course, this might not actually happen since it's just a theory, but it's kind of interesting to think that we are headed in that direction with AI gaining a lot of popularity. The founders of the company behind the creation of the AI models noted that AI image generation is actually a complex process, taking months from ideation to final product. For those who aren't too well versed with how AI works, which, let's be honest, is a lot of us, creating an AI-generated image requires training on a massive data set of images and something called a neural network, which, in short, is just an algorithm that finds patterns between all the images to produce an end product that is the best parts of all of them. While not nearly as bad as, say, ChatGPT, it still requires massive amounts of energy to train and store the model, as well as the water to cool down the data centers, which is where all of this heavy computation happens. I don't think people realize just how much math and energy is consumed when training AI models. It truly does require a lot of energy, and by normalizing the usage of AI everywhere, we're just worsening its environmental impact. While the adoption of AI may be cost efficient for companies to market their products, ultimately it's just deceiving their customers, and may do more harm than good for them in the long run. With brand reputation on the line, I'm not quite sure if using AI-generated images is the move. People crave authenticity, and AI-generated content is inherently far from it. I'm all for using AI to automate processes and help us get things done faster. But in this case, AI gets rid of a lot of the creativity that goes on in fashion marketing, and for that reason, I'm pretty against it. I think if Serif and Valora pivots their strategy to focus more on the creative aspect, like making images that are difficult to execute in real life rather than just replicating what can be done with traditional means, I could see more people getting on board with them, but only time will tell. As always, I would love to hear your perspective and thoughts in the comments down below. And if you like this video, feel free to like and subscribe for more content like this in the future. Okay, that's all for now. Bye!